Hockey on Root Sports is brought to you by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield for access to everything from preventative care to world-class specialty care. By Western PA Toyota dealers. Now's the time to go places with Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com for special offers. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it.
The Penguins have beaten the Capitals twice already this year. Bob, what are our Rivers Casino tips to win this time around?
Well, they got to stop the grade 8. He's got 44 goals, and for the Caps to win, they need him to be a plus player in this hockey game. Pittsburgh has to get more shots on net. 19 in Nashville, 17 in Anaheim. Not enough. And finding that chemistry with the new bodies and the new D pairings, that's a key.
And our Kia starting goaltender is not Marc-Andre Fleury, who has won 5 straight here. It's Jeff Zatkoff, who turned in a nice performance the other night in a losing cause against San Jose.
No, he really did. He's getting a lot of his starts on the road. 45 shots against in San Jose. A flutter went in on him. There's Yaroslav Halak. And, of course, Montreal, St. Louis, Buffalo, now here in Washington, and Adam Oates, a gifted goal scorer behind the bench in his second year with the Caps.
A former teammate of Dan Bylsma in Anaheim. Sidney Crosby starts the game against Eric Fehr. The third line of the Capitals has some beef on it with Fehr and Joel Ward and Chimera. The Penguins' top line, of course, Sidney Crosby, Chris Kunitz. And tonight, Lee Stempniak, number 22, will play the right side on the top line for the Penguins. Olli Maatta on defense. Paired up with Brooks Orpik to start the hockey game.
There's Olli Maatta and Lee Stempniak. He's saying, what do I have to do here, Olli? Olli said, you go back there, pretend you're a defenseman. We're going to shoot this puck around, and you're going to go get it. And that's exactly what happened. Stempniak misses the puck.
And Chimera grabs it and dumps it into the Penguin zone. Brooks Orpik goes back to get it, reverses it to Olli Maatta, who fanned on the bouncing puck, but Sidney Crosby comes deep into his own zone to get the puck and move it out to center. Now Brooks Orpik with it. Orpik tried to get it going north. Chimera gets it, though, centers. Fehr with a shot and a good save by Zatkoff on Eric Fehr. Now behind the net, Chimera looks in front for Joel Ward. Puck up the near wall, and the Penguins trying to get it. Lee Stempniak lifts the stick of Chimera and works to the left wing. Here's Kunitz cutting in to the goal. He scores! Chris Kunitz.
Well, I have no idea what Mike Green was doing. I mean, there was a great save by Zatkoff at one end. Mike Green was standing up at the blue line. He didn't have a stick on the ice. And the Crosby pass went right to Kunitz. There is the big save by Zatkoff. The Penguins turned the puck the other way. Stempniak's going to get his first point, but where's Green's stick on the ice there? And Kunitz is able to turn it to the backhand and go blocker side on Halak, who got caught moving across too quickly. What a beautiful goal by Kunitz, who's shaking his left hand right there. I don't know if he took a whack as he went to the net. He did not get a shot on net against his old squad, the Ducks, for the first time in 34 games the other night. He's got one shot and one goal already.
And here's a centering pass that comes all the way through to Niskanen in his blast. And that hits a man in front over to the far side, Taylor Pyatt. Stempniak gets an assist on it, as well as Sidney Crosby. This is James Neal, and he'll dump it back in around to the right wing corner, and Evgeny Malkin. Malkin with a little reverse bump there, out to the point, and Niskanen's shot deflected away to the near corner. Halak was looking around for it. He had no idea where that puck went. As it comes up the near wing, Like threw it into the middle, and Neal picked it off. Nicholas Backstrom whacking at him with a stick. Now both teams will make a change here with the Caps coming ahead. And it is dumped in by Carl Alsner all the way around the horn. Niskanen jabs it back over to the near side, where Jussi Jokinen sets it up for Joe Vitale. Jokinen playing on a third line now with Brandon Sutter and Joe Vitale. No longer the left winger with Evgeny Malkin and James Neal. Taylor Pyatt has that distinction at the moment. Here's Johansson with it. He'll slip it up into the Penguins' end. And Simon Desprez works it around for Jokinen. Off his stick, but it comes out. The Capitals will dump it right back in and accidentally out of play on the far side.
Let's take one more look at this pass from Sidney Crosby to Kunitz. It's hard. It's not way out in front of Kunitz. It couldn't be. Green could have played that with his stick. He just did not yet. 2 hands on his stick. If he had 1 hand on the stick, he would have been able to stop that pass to Kunitz. Kunitz flying in. Rings the register in the first minute of the hockey game, and also 30 goals for Chris Kunitz to lead the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Every time he scores, it's a career high for Chris Kunitz. Now the Capitals work it back to center ice. Ward digging after the puck. Derek Engelland gets there first. Drops it back into the corner for Simon Desprez. And the Penguins, Craig Adams takes the outlet pass. Up to the corner by Marcel Gottsch. Halak moves it around near side. And Evgeny Kuznetsov moves the puck back to center ice. He wears number 92. 21 years old. Bouncing puck to the right wing corner, and Rob Scuderi back to get it. The Capitals are changing ahead of the play. Some time here for the Penguins to go D to D and move the puck out of their own zone. Now Niskanen looks ahead for Neal. He tried to tip it. And it's taken now by Eric Fehr. And Fehr swings it up the wing. Ward is bumped on the near side, but Chimera centers. He had Fehr going to the goal. He scores. Eric Fehr. He didn't score the first time. He does this time to tie it at 1.
Wow. He took that pass from Chimera off his skates, and then he chipped it with his stick up over the glove hand to Zakkoff. That was a beautiful goal. Chimera took a look, and I don't think he thought he was going to get this pass through. Somehow it did. There's the left skate, and then the chip of the puck up underneath Zakkoff. Up over top of him, excuse me. Look at this. Skate, the chip. That's just a beautiful goal, and I don't know how you stop that one. Chimera lofts that puck over, and he's able to finish is Fehr. A beautiful, beautiful goal. It's 11th of the season for Eric Fehr.
He scores against Pittsburgh. You remember he scored in the Winter Classic in Pittsburgh. He was taken 18th overall in his draft year, and the guy who went after him was the guy we saw the other night, Ryan Getzlaf. And so the Capitals could have had Getzlaf, but they took Eric Fehr. This is his second stint with Washington. And on his second great scoring opportunity, he cashes in. But now here comes Crosby the other way. He goes in behind the net and moves it back over to the corner. That's going to be a penalty as Crosby was slashed on the hand. Zakkoff goes to the bench. And the Capitals get possession. A slashing call. You can see Crosby react. And the Penguins will go to the power play. The number 1 ranked power play in the league.
Backstrom's going to the box. The Penguins are 3 for the last 6. I mean, their power play, you could speak numbers all night long. There's the slash on the right elbow of Crosby. And after he loses the puck, he brings it to the official's attention. Definitely a slash there on the arm. And this power play, Steggy, they are on fire right now. The way they work, and you talked about it the other night, the way they outwork the 4 players is the key.
Malkin with it now. Gino. Crosby, he scores! What a wicked shot that was from Sidney Crosby. Wow. And the Penguins waste no time. 11 seconds into the power play, it's 2-1.
Well, Halak must have felt the wind go by. He's shaking his head right now, and why not? That shot is as hard as Sidney Crosby can shoot it. Oh, he absolutely lasered that shot over the glove hand of Halak. Halak could not react quick enough. There's no possible way. Sidney Crosby stepped into this one. Look at the transfer of the weight. And it's the pass. It's between the feet. It gives the guy time to adjust. That was the Malkin setting it up, was it not? And that is 30 for Crosby. Sorry about that, Kunitz. You're tied.
So Kunitz and Crosby both pick up their 30th here. And we're not even 5 minutes into this game. 2-1 Pittsburgh. Don't take penalties against the Penguins. And in fact, not against Washington either, because they're ranked number 2 on the power play. Now here's Sutter feeding it up into the right wing corner. Connor Carrick back to get it, number 58 of the Capitals. Paired up with Jack Hillen, who goes down in a heap. And the Penguins applying pressure here against Washington. Now the left wing comes Dustin Penner, and he'll dump the puck to the Penguin zone. Well, Crosby has a goal and assist already as Joe Vitale banks it ahead to center. Picked up by Craig Adams. Down the wing, Vitale goes to the net. Now he'll just go get the puck in behind the goal. Couldn't play it there. The Capitals clear. Up the wall, Niskanen pitches down. Now Green has to send it back around to the other side. Alexander Ovechkin, who leads the NHL with 44 goals, sends it ahead. Picked up by Backstrom. Backstrom closing in. Shoots it from a sharp angle, and Zakkoff got his right pad down on that, even though it wasn't on the net, and then the net dislodged behind the Penguin goaltender.
Great job by Niskanen there.
Here's our barrel leaders, and Alexander Ovechkin does lead with 18 power play goals, 18 of his 44. Sidney Crosby with 10 now to be one behind Pavelski and Parise, and you see Kunitz second in the league with 13 power play goals.
Crosby wanted to shoot more, and the Penguins, in fact, they have to get more shots to the opposition's net. Crosby only 5 shots in his last 4 hockey games. He wasted little time in getting that one to Halak.
Now Olli Maatta looks for the puck. Crosby again deep in his own zone, playing defensively here. Sure, he wasn't happy about that -5 the other night at San Jose. And he has been bound and determined here early in the game to help out defensively. You can see that. Now it's Green with a wrister. That one flutters to the goal. And it's pushed over to the near side and away from danger. Stempniak able to get it to center. He took a big hit on the near side from Jason Chimera.
Yeah, I think everybody got hit. Every red jersey laid a body check on that shift for Washington as the Penguins were moving that puck. It looks like an icing here for Washington as they just did not get that center red line, so the Penguins are getting an offensive zone faceoff.
By the way, the Penguins scoring first in this game. They're 29-3-1 when they score the first goal. There's one of the hits you talked about.
5 shots, 3 goals in this game so far.
Now Eric Fehr dumps the puck in. Simon Despres back to get it. Out come the Pens. It's Evgeny Malkin. Moves it left wing. Beautiful backhand pass across. And the shot by Neal is deflected away from the net over the goal. And the Caps quickly counter. Good pace right here as they dump it right back into the Penguin zone, and Despres goes back to get it. He'll leave it behind his own net. Malkin was there to help out, and now Derek Engelland sends it up the board. Over to play it is big Tom Wilson against Taylor Pyatt. 2 guys whose bodies match up well against one another. Carl Alsner works it to the corner. And the Caps cycle the puck now in the Penguin zone, but Despres gets over to backhand it up the wall. James Neal got a stick on it. Alsner keeps it in, though. Carlson wristed one that was blocked, and it's picked up by Evgeny Malkin. Malkin makes sure that he gets it deep into the Capital zone as the Penguins want to make a change. Johansson over to play it for the Capitals. Taken away, though, by Brandon Sutter. Sutter with Jokinen and Marcel Goc at the moment. Goc is playing the wing. He's got to get himself used to playing on that left side. Up the right side, it comes to Jokinen. And he tips it in after it is Alsner. Sutter jostles him into the board. Goc reaching in for the puck. Marcel Goc and Brandon Sutter go to work here. 2-on-2 battle. Sutter comes out of there with a puck and moves it to the point. Scuderi's pass not where he wanted it to be, and Niskanen's got to retreat. And the Capitals end up with possession, and Johansson with it. Marcus Johansson drops it off. Jack Hillen, the former Islander, comes to center and dumps it all the way around the horn. Out to the blue line it comes. This is Dustin Penner. Penner with a shot. Kicked out nicely by Zatkoff to the near side. Hillen moves up and shoots it. At the stick of Brouwer and over to the far corner. And it's picked up now by Matt Niskanen. And Niskanen ahead to Tanner Glass, who kicked it to Vitale. He dropped it to Adams, and then Vitale was offside as the Penguins enter the Capital zone.
Well, started off with a bang, and Chris Kunitz led the parade. He got his 30th. Eric Fehr tied it at 1, and that was short-lived.
Well, back in 2010, the Washington Capitals won the President's Trophy. Top record in the league in the regular season, and this guy ruined everything for him. He was playing for the Montreal Canadiens, and the Capitals were eliminated in the first round, and then he came to Pittsburgh and did the same thing. He knocked the Penguins out of the playoffs. Yaroslav Halak, who the Capitals are happy to have him in the fold. And Jacques Martin, of course, was the coach of the Canadiens at that time. And Halak still hasn't painted his mask. I wonder if he'll leave it white or if he'll put a nice paint job on there.
Well, he didn't know where he was. He went from St. Louis to Buffalo. He spent a couple hours there. He probably thinks he's on the move again.
Ovechkin lifted his skate, and the puck comes out and all the way back into the Penguin zone, and Olli Maatta goes back to get it. And Maatta turns it up the near wall. Stempniak let it go through. It was picked up by Kunitz. Crosby busting towards the net. Kunitz drops it off instead to Olli Maatta. Maatta across to Brooks Orpik. Fires, and it's off a stick in front. Over to Kunitz, who sends it back in behind, but taken there by Green. Crosby jumps him. strips him of the puck. The Capitals recover. Now Ovechkin will take it at center, and he angles one up into the Penguin zone. That's an icing call. Head to Florida for Pirates spring training next Monday on Root Sports. First, see the Pirates play the Yankees at McKechnie Field. Then later, Russell Martin, Travis Snyder, and the Pirates coaches are mic'd up for a special spring training edition of Inside Pirates Baseball. Pirates spring training next Monday starting at 12:30 on Root Sports.
Well, this isn't the Legion of Doom, but this is a big line. You put Pyatt out there with Neal and Malkin. These are big bodies for the Penguins.
On the near wing now, it's Brooks Laich, and he'll dump it rink wide for Ovechkin, who whips it up into the Penguin zone. Zatkov left it behind the net. Simon Desprez over to Malkin. Bounces one to the right side where Derek Engelland drives it in. Fair is able to get it to center. Joel Ward had it knocked away from him by Malkin, and then the Capitals have the whistle blown on them as they try to enter the Penguin zone. On the offside, we'll see a face-off in the neutral zone. There's the wild card standings. You can see the Penguins are no longer the top team in the Eastern Conference. The Boston Bruins have moved ahead of them by 1 point, though the Penguins have a game in hand. And also, the Washington Capitals are still on the outside looking in. The Blue Jackets currently hold that last playoff spot with 71 points. The Capitals with 70.
Capitals finished last year 15-2-2 in their final 19 games to get a seed.
They won the Southeast Division title last year in the final year of that division. Now here's Joe Vitale throwing it rink wide, and Rob Scuderi drives it up into the Capital zone. And then Ed Halak, I thought he was going to give that one away. The Capitals do give it away. Scuderi dumps it back behind the net to Vitale. Over to the left side. This is Jokinen digging with the puck. Up the near wing, it comes for Sutter, and he tried to turn it deep, but the Capitals break it up, and back they come. Up to the corner. Niskanen back to get it. Tom Wilson couldn't play it, number 43, and comes up the near wing to Matt Niskanen. Penguin defenseman. And with the Capitals kind of lining up on the blue line, he dumps the puck in. Joel Ward gets a skate on it, then turns and wrists it back to center ice where Matt Niskanen takes it for the Penguins, and not a good pass that time. Then the outlet for Eric Fair on the wrong side of him, and that turns into an icing call on the Capitals.
Well, they had a man wide open in between the Penguins' defense, but prior to that, Niskanen was the only man on the ice carrying it towards 5 Capitals. The Penguins were changing. Not one Capital engaged Niskanen. He could skate it all the way to the blue line. You got to be aware as a hockey player, and all systems are great, but sometimes you just got to throw them out the window depending on the situation. And the Capitals just weren't able to adapt properly. There's a save by Halak off another face-off for the Penguins, who have been jumbling their lines. And now you had Neal out there with Crosby and Malkin.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to rock the red when you've got Pens Nation in the house. Just saying. Time for our UPMC Sports Medicine injury update. Ringer Bo Bennett rejoined the team for practice last night here in D.C. and skated again this morning. Remember, he injured his hand in late November, but had a setback just over 2 weeks ago. We should have a better idea of where he may return, or when he may return, after Bo meets with team doctors this weekend. For more on tonight's game, 2-1 Penguins. Back upstairs, guys.
Thank Danny, and I think you might see Bo Bennett go down to Wilkes-Barre for a conditioning assignment before he actually does return to the Penguins lineup. I think that's always a possibility. No one's said that's going to happen, but it could. Now on the near wing, the Capital defenseman Carl Alsner sends it ahead. And Dustin Penner turns and dumps it up into the Penguins zone. And Brooks Orpik leaves it in the corner. Troy Brouwer, who's never scored a goal against the Penguins in 12 games against them, dumps the puck to the near corner, and Brooks Orpik one-handing it up the near wall, where Neal lays it right onto the stick of Taylor Pyatt, and he will dump it to the right wing corner and get in after it. Pyatt played a strong game in a 4-3 win over the Capitals earlier this year, and he's out here right now, moving it to the point. Now Mata with a drive. That one misses on the stick side of Halak. Orpik down the boards, pinching. Neal trying to get a hold of it, but Penner sent it out to center ice. Taken there by Brouwer to Penner. He drops it off. Carlson, and he was hooked up a little bit by Orpik. Is there going to be a penalty on Orpik? Yes. He doesn't like the call at all.
It was a late call, but the Caps player dropped his stick, and then it's broken as Brooks Orpik came from behind, and that was the stick of Marcus Johansson, I believe, was it not? After a little feed from Dustin Penner. Over to Penner.
Carlson.
Oh, Carlson, there it is. And it was from the top. That's a penalty. Well, anytime you come from up top and you go down on a guy's stick and you break his stick like that, it's a penalty. I mean, that's been called for the last 3 years. There's no argument there.
Marcel Gottsch was 10-3 on the faceoffs against the Ducks. He has a big draw here. And he won it against Joel Ward, and the Penguins have control on the penalty kill, and they move it out to center. The Penguins have killed 22 straight penalties on the road. And they have the #1 ranked penalty killing unit in the league, and the Capitals with the #2 power play unit in the NHL. Looking to tie the game here with a man advantage. This is Backstrom. Backstrom will distribute the puck from the right wing wall. Closes in and fires, and it's blocked. Ovechkin tried to pull the trigger. Adams was right there to prevent him from doing that, and he broke his stick. But Light finds Backstrom. Ward's in the slot. Backstrom's got the puck. Moves it up top to Mike Green. Ovechkin sneaking back into the play now after picking up a new stick on the bench. He moves into his typical position on the left side, and the shot by Backstrom is stopped by Zatkov. Backstrom takes it again to Ward and back to Backstrom. Nicholas Backstrom to the top of the circle. Gottsch out here killing the penalty. Green to Ovechkin. A shot. And Zatkov able to make the save with Light standing right there looking for the redirect.
Well, he broke his stick. Did Zatkov. Did Ovechkin. He went all the way to the bench. In the last meeting between the two clubs, he lost his stick courtesy of Brooks Orpik, picked it up, and proceeded to score a power play goal against the Penguins.
Interestingly, Orpik chopped down on his stick there to take it away from him. He didn't break it, though. It came out of his hand.
And that could still be a penalty as well. As a matter of fact, it is a penalty if you do that. And the funny thing was, the Penguins, when Ovechkin went back to his bench, which is way over across the red line here, to get another stick, which he is doing right now, by the way, he went all the way back, Steggy. The Penguins, they didn't pressure enough. It's a 4-on-4 situation at that point. I think there, you take that opportunity to play it like a 4-on-4 and go, be physical, eliminate bodies, play man-on-man, and try to get the puck down the ice. What happened was Ovechkin went to the bench. He came all the way back. He ended up getting a shot 20 seconds later because the Penguins stayed in their configuration. Hey, it's hard to be very critical of this penalty killing unit. #1.
Look out, a chance here. Chimera to the goal. Zatkov stood his ground to make the save on Jason Chimera. And now it's Carlson with it to the right point. He's got some room. Instead, he decides to pass the puck to Ovechkin. Boy, he had a chance to fire the puck there and didn't do it. Now they set it up again from the half wall. Now it's Troy Brouwer on the ice in the high slot, and the shot is blocked in front. This is Johansson working the puck from the right wing boards. Down low it goes. Centering pass, and that was broken up on the way through as Ovechkin went to the net looking to bang one home, and the Penguins able to clear it. 5 seconds to go on the penalty to Brooks Orpik.
But you're playing with fire. You are. That's a deadly power play. Zatkov hasn't seen this Ovechkin shot, and it is deadly. Backstrom taking the opportunity to shoot.
Capitals do a good job on the forecheck, and then a big hit by Brooks Orpik. He just crushed Eric Fehr in the near corner. And Fehr had something going there, but Orpik just stopped him in his tracks. And Dustin Benner works it out to center. Lee Beagle had it and lost it. The Penguins take it away, and Simon Desprez tried to clear it, hit a leg, comes to the near side where it's handled now by Lee Stempniak. And Brooks Orpik comes out of the box and absolutely plastered Eric Fehr. Now taken by Dmitry Orlov ahead to Beagle up the right wing. Capitals will dump it in. Tom Wilson, a big boy, comes in after the puck, but he can't play it. The Penguins have it. Sidney Crosby again starting from deep in his own zone. Ahead to Lee Stempniak, who backhands it into the Washington zone.
Goal scoring, physicality, a couple of power plays. Pretty good hockey game.
Backstrom gliding into the Penguin zone, drops it off. Kuznetsov centered one. He was looking for Wilson going to the net. Didn't connect. And the Penguins able to clear. There's Malkin stealing, but it's an offside play as the Penguins enter the Capital zone.
Well, Brooks didn't like the penalty. This time he knocked the stick out of a man's hands legally with a big big body check.
Well, with Marc-Andre Fleury doing most of the work, the Capitals have not scored more than 3 goals in the last 13 games against the Penguins. But tonight, it's Jeff Zatkoff's turn to slam the door.
Yeah. Brouwer to Chimera. Bouncing puck. He just tried to chip it up as Zatkoff came out with the poke check. Didn't have many options to Chimera after that poke check move by Zatkoff and stopped it with the left shoulder. And that was a 7th shot registered by the Capitals to 4 for Pittsburgh.
Penguins outshot the Capitals by a ton when they beat them 4-0 last time here, 40-18. Now the Capitals behind the net. Works Like with it. To Carlson. Fakes the shot. Now fires. Boy, that made it through, and a good pad stop made by Zatkoff. That puck had eyes on it. Now down the near wing comes Malkin. Sets it up for Jokinen. Tamata a shot and blocked. Taking that sharp angle shot and being able to cover it. That was a good one from Olli Maatta.
Well, Olli Maatta jumping up. Penguins getting a ton of production, as we heard earlier from Dan Potash from the D. And Olli Maatta trying to sneak it in on the short side against Jaroslav Halak.
Only Torrey Krug of the Boston Bruins has more points among rookie defensemen than Olli Maatta. He's got 27 and 9 goals. Now this is Johansson. And Penner couldn't take the pass because Niskanen broke it up, but it's dumped back around by Hillen all the way to the far side where Connor Carrick sends it back in behind the Penguins goal. Scuderi backhands it up the near wing for Sidney Crosby. Crosby with a bank pass broken up. The lead pass goes right past the intended receiver to Scuderi. Now taken by Vitale. Gotch is on the ice. Marcel Gotch along with Pyatt is behind the net. Pyatt out to Niskanen. His shot, and that one deflected away. Vitale looks for the puck. Knocks it right in front of the goal. But the Capitals are there to take it away, and Hillen comes to center. Hillen dumps it into the Penguin zone. Behind the net, Rob Scuderi will take it. Crosby's on now. Up the near wing, Stempniak for Kunitz. Instead, he finds Crosby cutting in. Crosby to the goal. Trying to wrap it around Halak, and he couldn't do so. Puck comes to the near wing to Stempniak. Out to Engelland. Penalty coming up. Dupre with it. Zatkoff goes to the bench. Engelland's shot. It's partially deflected or blocked, and then the Caps get it to draw the whistle, and the Penguins put that deadly power play back onto the ice.
Talk about deadly. Sidney Crosby, he's on a mission here in this hockey game. I mean, it wasn't even a great pass. Stempniak threw it in the vicinity of Crosby. Crosby picks it up from behind him. Watch him go to the net. And after that, he took a bop to the nose. Right there. There's the elbow by Ovechkin. A shot to the back of the head and then an elbow. The shot to the back of the head wasn't enough, so he had to come back with the right elbow, and Crosby draws the penalty.
Now let's see if the Penguins can make Ovechkin pay for that. On the power play again. Niskanen with it, a UPMC Sports Medicine power play. This is Crosby. Neal goes to the front of the net. Crosby to Malkin. Niskanen a drive and a save made by Halak. Crosby couldn't get to the rebound before it was swept to the corner by Brooks Laich, and he turns, finds an opening, and bounces the puck up into the Penguin zone. Zatkoff out of the net, hurries the play along to Sidney Crosby, who finds Matt Niskanen. Niskanen picks up speed into the Capital zone and drops it off for Chris Kunitz. He'll leave it for Niskanen. Penguins moving bodies around on this power play. Now Malkin to the near wing and Crosby. Neal to Crosby. Up top now to Gino. Crosby cross ice. Niskanen tees it up. Doesn't shoot it. Malkin does. And it hit a Capital. There's Joel Ward who it hit. And he is hurting right now as he lumbers back towards the bench, limping all the way back after blocking that shot. The Penguins have some room here up the wing. Long pass for Crosby comes near side. From Olli Maatta. Now to Malkin a drive, and that hit a Capital. Now Crosby across. Maatta! And that one was blocked in front as Olli Maatta just tried to push it to the net. Maatta has it again in the corner, trying to come to the front of the net. Instead hands it off to Crosby. 36 seconds on the penalty. Here's Jokinen shooting. It's blocked. Boy, the Capitals doing a great job blocking shots here.
Well, they really did. Connor Carrick, he made a great read on the backdoor play. Kunitz Got a quick one-timer again across his body that Carrick was able to help out with, and really only his 27th game in the league.
Capitals force it back to center. Dupre skating. And offside are the Penguins as they enter the Capital zone with 13 seconds to go on the penalty to Alexander Ovechkin. Coming up in the first intermission, presented by your neighborhood Ford store with Rob King and Jay Caulfield. Chris Kunitz, the 30-goal man, will visit with Dan Potash. We'll have highlights, telestration as usual.
There's Kunitz looking to see in between the benches what that puck hit. It was Connor Carrick that it hit, who blocked the shot, and Halak getting some help from his defense for sure. And forwards, Ward blocked one.
Got to do it, right?
You have to. It's the way it is in the smaller rinks in this NHL. And there's not a lot of goals coming down the stretch. You got to sacrifice on the icing call. And the Capitals have a possible 34 points. They need 22 to get to that magic number of 92 to get maybe that team, Adam Oates' club, into the playoffs. They're 1 point out right now, are they not?
They are. It's a battle.
It's a battle. You better be blocking shots.
You've got Columbus and Detroit, Tampa, and Washington all battling, and maybe the New Jersey Devils before it's all said and done. Taylor Pyatt sends it ahead. Cutting over the plate is Orlov. Backhands it to center. Ovechkin will play the puck. Ovechkin is a minus 25. 18 of his 44 goals on the power play. Ovechkin over the line with a drop pass to the right wing. Shot to the net, and Zakhoff will just gobble it up and hold on to it. Mike Green taking that shot. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Zakhoff has played 14 games now, 10 of them on the road.
And they haven't been easy. Not this one, not the last one. Last start was in San Jose. Prior to that was January 30th. There's Gotch defensively there. There's an example of what he can bring, and he took a big hit to make a play with Ovechkin coming in. Good job, though.
After hitting Backstrom and separating him from the puck. And there's another separation from the puck. Like Tanner Glass leveled Mike Green.
Might be a shoulder separation.
I wouldn't want to laugh about that,
no.
But it was a funny line. I know what you mean. Here's Green with it now behind the net.
Yeah, you saw Green. He went back at Glass, and that's kind of what you want. You want to hit first and hope that the other team retaliates.
Sidney Crosby takes the long lead pass. 16 seconds to go in the period. Malkin makes a beeline down the boards to get to the puck. Sweep check nicely by Carlson, who finds Joel Ward, and Chimera over for support as Ward carries the center and dumps it into the Penguin zone. 5 seconds to go in the period. Zakhoff can't play the puck in the trapezoid. Or outside of it, I should say. And there's the horn ending the first period of play.
Well, it started with the big save by Zakhoff. Led to a goal by the Pittsburgh Penguins and Chris Kunitz on the first shift of the hockey game. Then it quieted down after that, Stegen.
Capitals outshoot the Penguins 9-7. Penguins lead at 2-1. Let's go to Robin Jay.
Our nation's capital, home to many great sites like the Lincoln Memorial, obviously, but also home to the Washington Capitals, who are struggling to make the playoffs right now. Penguins up on top 2-1 after one period of play. Let's go back to the Verizon Center. Steigen and Bob have the call of the second period. Guys?
Thank you very much, Rob. Well, in a game with such great offensive players, you know you're going to have to get some goaltending at both ends if you're going to have a competitive situation. And Jeff Zatkoff doing the job, Bob, again in the first period.
Yeah, he made a big stop off Eric Fair, led to the Kunitz goal. The Penguins went up early in the first 43 seconds of the hockey game, and Zatkoff was strong. It was really that Fair line that was the best line for the Capitals in that first period. They had 5 of the 9 shots. Zakhoff stopping 8 of those. And Halak wasn't really that strong at the other end, I thought.
Jeff Zakhoff is going to be a busier guy with all the back-to-back situations going down the stretch. You got another one coming up this weekend with the Flyers. Tonight's face-off presented by the new face of Northwood Realty Services.
Capitals out hit the Penguins 14-11 in that period. Maybe that hit with the most impact was that Brooks Orpik hit that we saw him lay on Fair after he got out of that penalty box.
Speaking of faceoffs, Crosby was 6-2. The Penguins won 59% of the draws in the first period. And Sidney Crosby takes the opening draw here in the second period against Marcus Johansson, and Dmitry Orlov, another Russian player for the Capitals, dumps the puck in behind the net. Sends it up the near wall. Kunitz try to get it out. Green just whips it back to the front of the goal, and Brooks Orpik waiting there. He gave it away to Penner to try to get it back to the net. Now a centering pass for Johansson, broken up by the stick of the goaltender Zakov, and it comes to the near wing and Kunitz. Now for Crosby, who drags the puck in against Orlov. Crosby to Kunitz, and he heeled that puck, kind of shanked it through the goal mouth. It comes out now to Olimata, who dumps it in behind. Lee Stempniak, who has his first point in a Penguin uniform in this game, is overtaken, and the Capitals able to send the puck all the way down. Olimata goes back on an icing call.
Sidney Crosby, so strong. I didn't think there was any chance that play at the far blue line was going to be onside. He picks it up with one hand. The puck's way behind him and just brings it right across the blue line so quickly. I mean, you got to be strong. You got to be absolutely just those wrists and your forearms. You be Popeye.
Sidney Crosby has provided us with some great moments in this building. Face off to the right of Yaroslav Halak. Malkin dragging it on the draw to the near wall. And a battle there. Taylor Pyatt with that big body trying to get in there and dig that puck off the boards. Now goes in behind. Taken there by Green. And James Neal came in on the forecheck and hurrying the Capital defenseman on the play. Dmitry Orlov goes back for the puck again. Now he's hurried by Taylor Pyatt. Sends it up the wall, and Matt Niskanen tried to get it deep, and Malkin over to help out. Drops it back to Rob Scuderi. And now to Malkin. Malkin looks for Pyatt. That was broken up by Backstrom. And the Capitals go the other way. Ovechkin shoots it wide. Like to the puck behind the net. Looks like. Backhands it across. Alsner with a drive. That was blocked right there by Taylor Pyatt, who looked around for the puck. Malkin, though, able to get to it. He gave it away to Backstrom. Nicholas Backstrom looks for Ovechkin. Big save by Zakov on Alexander Ovechkin after the Penguins turned the puck over. And now Niskanen sends it down the ice, and this will be an icing call against Pittsburgh.
Well, you don't want to turn it over against that Ovechkin line. Malkin and Scuderi are gassed. They might use their timeout right now, the Penguins. We're only a minute into this period. I don't know.
Scuderi looks like he's shaken up a little bit.
Well, that's why I was saying. I mean, they're exhausted right now. A couple of turnovers stuck in their end. We'll see. Just got to suck it up right now.
Scuderi pushes the puck along for Neal. He's able to get it to center ice. No further. Penguins want to change. They've got players pouring off the boards right now. Or half of them are waiting to get in. And now here's Fair shooting one right through the goal mouth. Over to Alsner. Now to Carlson. Carlson with a shot. That ricochets away from the net. Brandon Sutter over to play it for the Penguins. And it comes bouncing right to the stick of Matt Niskanen, who looks up for Sutter. Now leads him into the corner, but it comes back in front of the goaltender Halak. Jokinen to the corner for Sutter. Sutter and Jokinen played a lot together in Carolina. Jokinen shoots the puck, and a blocker save made by Halak to the near side. Back into the corner. It'll be Jokinen going after the puck. Marcel Gottsch is on the ice. Out to the point. The shot by Engelland bouncing. And the Capitals' Eric Fair able to pitchfork it back up into the Penguin zone.
Niskanen had 3 shots in the first period against Staggy, and again registered a shot attempt there. I mean, he just gets himself so available.
Bouncing puck. Dupre can't play it. Wilson centers it, and the bouncing puck goes to where Beagle can handle it. Out to the point. Hillen, wrist shot. That one sails wide. Off the end boards. It's Kuznetsov, bumped by Dupre. Evgeny Kuznetsov on the ice right now for the Capitals. This is Hillen with a wrist shot. That one went wide of the net. Over to play it on the near side is Connor Carrick. Behind the net now for Jay Beagle. Kuznetsov's in front of the net. And the shot taken. Now Wilson cuts behind the net as the puck is brought to the front of the goal by Beagle and stopped by Jeff Zatkoff. And the Capitals cycling and weaving are down low in the Penguin zone.
Boy, you got Wilson, a big, strong 19-year-old, over 100 minutes in penalties. Beagle and Zakkoff in the first period. That's how he started his hockey game. making some big saves. That one against Ovechkin. Stopped Fair a couple of times. Fair did get one by him. That was a big save on Chimera on a breakaway. Got to use him in these back-to-backs.
Capitals trying to get to the front of the net here, and now to the right point it comes to Green. A wrist shot. That one's fought off by Zakov. They get hit him right in the mask. Now behind the net, Troy Brouwer, bumped by Ole Mata. Brouwer brings it up high. Orlov distributes it behind the net for Dustin Penner. He let it go through. Brouwer takes the pass. Turns out of the corner with it. Now leaves it for Johansson. Back to Brouwer. Out now to Green. He risks one, and that one sails wide of the goal. Orlov races over ahead of Stempniak. Sends it behind the net. Johansson sets a man up on the doorstep. It was a good chance for Dustin Penner, but Zakov somehow read that. Made it look easy. Now Penner with it again to Brouwer. He fans on the shot. Crosby bumping him has lost his stick. No stick for Sid. Here's the shot by Green. Zakov the save. The rebound. Zakov finds the puck. Trying to freeze it. No, it squirts free. He put his glove down as if he had it, and he didn't.
You got a penalty here. It's going to be a hold. Sidney Crosby playing down low really needs a stick. He's like a third defenseman out there. Zakov's talking to the official about the collision in front of the net. Sidney Crosby playing down low. There's the tackle in front. Now that puck was stopped by Zakov right on the goal line. Crosby took a penalty. He absolutely tackled Dustin Penner. And that's a tough thing to do. He's a big man, but Crosby needs a stick down low. One of the forwards, if they can, they got to give Crosby a stick. That puck comes down. Whoa, boy, that pad was, they're going to take a look at this in Toronto because Zakov's pad was right on the goal line. That's why the referee waved it off. In his mind, it did not cross the line, but it's close enough to take a look. And from that overhead, it's not going to be a goal. They've already waved it off. They took a look. You could see there's no visual evidence showing that puck went all the way across the goal line. Zakov stood strong. Crosby took the holding penalty.
Big face-off here in the Penguin zone on the penalty kill. Capitals with a power play opportunity, down by one with Sidney Crosby in the box. Light moves it to the point to Ovechkin and now to Karlsson. Brooks Light pulls it, leaves it. Backstrom down low to Lake, and Zakov holds his ground and makes the save, and now Backstrom with it. Nicholas Backstrom trying to close into the middle, shoots the puck and the save made by Zakov. Backstrom works it out for Ovechkin. Good read though. Sutter got a stick in there and intercepted the pass, and all in the same motion poked it the entire length of the rink.
Well, the Penguins they're shading over towards number 8 Ovechkin, and that's leaving Backstrom wide open, and he's taking these shots time and time again.
Now Light moves it to the far side, and Ovechkin pressured by Adams. He finds Backstrom. Orpik battling for the puck. So is Adams. And now Scuderi. He flushed it up the wall. Ovechkin's pass a weak one. And a chance here for Adams short-handed if he could get the pass from Sutter, but it didn't connect. And Adams turns and goes to the bench. Now it's Kuznetsov. He couldn't make his pass work, and the Penguins clear it down the ice. And we're talking about Backstrom trying to score. He has only one goal in his last 21 games. He's more of a puck distributor. He does have 14 assists during that time. Now Kuznetsov behind the net. Works it up top to Karlsson. Near side, Johansson. Johansson down low. And the Capitals just having a tough time making their passes connect right now. Now Johansson works it down low. Kuznetsov took it to the net, and Zakov made the save. Centering pass for Brouwer. He was closely checked on the play, and the Penguins get possession and clear. Tanner Glass did the job on Brouwer, who's dragging himself back to the Capitals bench. 3 seconds to go on the penalty to Sidney Crosby.
Great job again. Great job by the Penguins. Smothering defense. 4 players against 5. Their work rate is just higher.
Capitals into the Penguin zone though, and Wilson can't get it to the net. Simon Desprez patiently moves the puck along to Kunitz, who snaps it ahead to Sidney Crosby. Crosby with Orlov backing in on him, drops it off to Desprez. His shot was blocked. And Simon turns around. Wilson, the man who blocked it, And he's going to take the puck now and move it ahead. And it goes across now to Orlov jumping in. Now for Wilson, a turning shot, and Chimera couldn't flag it out of midair. As Dupre moves it out on right wing. The Capitals changing behind the rush of the Penguins. And now Kunis gets to the puck and makes sure the Penguins keep possession. Here's Dupre with it. He's been on the ice a while. He's got to bank it off the glass into the Washington zone. He's going to turn and go to the bench.
It's going to be a high stick on the puck, Steggy. And you mentioned a couple of changes behind the play by the Capitals. They're almost illegal. Watch for that here in the second period as we go on. Now Sidney Crosby was in the penalty box, and the Capitals have registered 11 shots to 1 for the Penguins. Crosby with the assist on the Kunitz goal. Just seconds into this hockey game, Kunitz scoring at the 46-second mark, and then Crosby with a power play goal. Just a rocket of a shot off the side wall. Past Halak. And I don't know if he's getting his skates done now or not, but I can see that he is, there's a lot of room there down on the bench between a couple of players.
Capitals try to come out of their own zone here. The Penguins want to generate some offense. Scuderi stick breaks on his shot. He's got to go all the way across to get it. A new one. As Pyatt works the near corner for Neal. He just fires it wide. Over to the far side where Brooks Orpik will take it. Orpik sends it in deep. Now it's Neal with it. James Neal for Malkin. And it squirts away from him to the near side. Now Malkin will take it in the near corner. There's Niskanen with it now. Moves it along for Brooks Orpik. Orpik snaps it out in center. Pyatt will dump it right back into the Capital zone. Halak for Carlson. And he finds a wide open Penner. He drops it off. And the shot by Beagle is high and wide off the glass. Picked up by Joe Vitale. Vitale trying to keep those feet moving as he comes through neutral ice. Taken by Hillen. And he taps it along. Capitals. They're going to draw a penalty here. Vitale's going to take a penalty here as he pulled down the Capital behind the net. It was Troy Brouwer that he upended, and now the Penguins are going to be shorthanded again.
Yeah, Vitale had one hand on the stick, and I don't know if he put it between the legs of Brouwer or not as he went behind the net. Yeah, just into the laces, and Brouwer goes down. Going to make the call there, and the Capitals bring that number 2 ranked power play back on the ice.
We were talking about Backstrom, Bob, and I wanted to make that point about him scoring only 1 goal in 21 games. And so if you give Backstrom all that time and by covering that man Ovechkin, you're basically inviting him to try to score goals, which is really not his strength. At least it hasn't been.
No, that's exactly what you're doing. You're saying we're going to let Backstrom beat us, not Ovechkin. So good luck with that one. Penguins are going to shade over towards Alexander Ovechkin. He's playing the point position, left point right now. He moves into that dot area. Look out.
Here he is. He fires. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy. What a block.
Adams just made one of those Secret Service saves here in Washington, D.C.
And there he is. He's got the plastic devices you see there, Staggy, on his boot to block just such shots. And it's a good thing. I don't know exactly where that caught him. Take a look. And they caught him down low on the skates. And got to be pretty fortunate. Feel fortunate he has those on.
There's another face-off opportunity. This time Sutter will take it against Backstrom. On the right of Jeff Zatkoff. And it's won cleanly by Backstrom back to Ovechkin. He fakes the shot this time to Carlson. His shot blockered away, punched away by Zatkoff to the near corner, where Backstrom will set it up again down low. Backstrom throws it to the net. It's deflected in by Light. And the Capitals have tied it.
Well, this is what happens. You got Ovechkin on one side of the ice. The puck goes down low one time. Scuderi's down on his stomach to prevent the cross crease. The second time, watch Scuderi. Down on his stomach. Back up. Now watch his stick. He's trying to take away the Ovechkin pass. And what's that going to keep open? That's going to keep that play open for the Capitals. Because the stick of Scuderi is to the middle of the ice. So is Brooks Orpik's stick. You see how Brooks Orpik was on the half wall? He's got his stick in the middle. They don't want that puck getting through the seam over to Ovechkin. That left 21 Lake wide open for the shot redirect.
All the stick positioning there. So the string of 24 consecutive kills for the Penguins comes to an end on the road as Brooks Lake is able to steer one home to tie this game at 2. And here come the Capitals again. Centering pass. Brouwer tried to get it to the net. Penguins still with only one shot in this period. Here is Hillen with a drive and a blocker save made by Zatkoff. And the Penguins get possession, and Stempniak just shoves it up into the Capital zone. Kunis trying to get after it. Now it's Connor Carrick moving it up the near wall to Brouwer, and he'll step to center ice for Washington. Got Penner with him. And now Kunis overtakes him and then throws the puck out to center. Crosby takes the drop pass from Stempniak, but he can't get to the net with it. Now Stempniak tried to get control of it and couldn't. Carlson gets an assist on the goal, as well as Backstrom. Puck goes the length of the ice, and it's an icing call against Pittsburgh. Boy, the Penguins have been under siege here in the second period, Bob.
Wow. Let's take a look at Kunis in his last shift for the Penguins. They're trying to get it going, tied at 2. There he is, trying to stretch pass. Take a look at Brouwer. A cross check right to the back. Undetected.
Ron Scuderi up the wall for Neal. Now Scuderi over to help Neal out, and he pries it free behind the net for Niskanen. And Jokinen can't get it out. He dodged the check of Chimera. Eric Fair's got it. Chimera, Fair, and Ward on the ice again for the Penguins. Carlson moves across ice. Alsner with a shot. Zatkoff came out to kind of get to the puck and make the save. Now Chimera and Ward and Fair continue to work a wall as Neal tries to get it out. He can't do it. Chimera takes the pass from Ward and then chips it behind the net. Scuderi in front of Fair, who rubs him out. And then up the near wall, Jokinen finally able to clear it. And it's just softly sent up into the Washington zone.
Just remind you of the Anaheim game. The shots are 15-1 in this period, but the Penguins are still hanging around.
Wilson with it. He dumps it in deep and gets in after the puck. Centers for Beagle. Jay Beagle on his backhand. Up top now to Green. Green with a wrister, and that one floats over the goal. Zatkoff didn't see it till the last second through traffic. Now Taylor Pyatt steaming down the right wing against Orlov. Lost the puck. Beagle tried to center. He was hit by Gotch. In front now to Tanner Glass, poked away by Halak. He tried to go to Gotch in front, Glass did, but it's broken up by Green, who then spins the puck back towards the Penguin zone. Brooks Orpik with it. Glass fell down as the puck comes to center. Gotch battling on the near wall against Green. And the Penguins able to win the battle of the puck there as Ole Mata goes to Orpik. Out in center. Orlov picks it off. And the Penguins get it again. Here comes Ole Mata. Mata into the Washington zone, sends it around for Sidney Crosby. He let it go through, or Stempniak takes it, turns off the wall. Crosby snaps it out to the point to Dupre, shoots the puck. Stempniak tried to deflect it. Now Stempniak up top to Dupre. Over to Derek Engelland. Engelland dumps it deep for Sidney Crosby. He's jostled into the boards as the puck came by him, and now the Capitals come to center. Offside on the play are the Capitals, and we'll return to Washington in a moment. The Penguins are hanging on the ropes right now, and it's 2-2.
2-2 our score here in the second period, and Todd, the Capitals have really turned it up a notch offensively here in the second period. How can you take away some of their scoring chances and break up those cycles in the corner?
Yeah, it's been tough. You know, we've had a number of kids tonight. They've got a very dangerous power play, so we got to make sure we can't take penalties in the offensive zone. They always come back to haunt you there. I think we got to continue to execute coming out of D zone. 8 shots after half a game is not enough, so we got to make sure we get 8 more in the rest of this period.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Guys,
Well, the Penguins have been held to 19, 22, and 17 shots the last 3 games. And they've got only 8 in this one with 7:31 to go in the second period.
You know, it's safe to say they really have not found that chemistry. They're trying, they're striving for it.
Here's Crosby, though, busting in, drops it off. Stempniak shot, stop, rebound, score! Fritz Kunitz has another one, and the Penguins retake the lead.
That's chemistry. We know that. Crosby and Kunitz. Throw Stempniak into the mix on this one. He did a real good job on this transition, and Kunitz just gets that big blade on the ice. He's so strong getting pucks. There's the stretch play. Stempniak to Crosby. Back to Stempniak, and the puck comes right to Kunitz, who bangs it into the net. And Halak has just been awful in this hockey game, honestly. If they could get any shots towards him at all. And there's 2 there. They're up to 10 shots. They got 3 goals on the board, and he looks very fragile.
Do you think it's hard for him, Bob, to be down at the other end, not facing a lot of rubber, especially in his first?
Oh, you know it is. You know it is.
It's his second game for them.
He just turned it over.
Yeah, and the Penguins have it again. It's Scuderi with it, and he risks it down into the corner.
Said he was nervous in his first start, and he's got to be nervous right now. They're trying to get into playoffs. And they need big performances from their goaltenders.
All goalies like to work. They don't like to stand around thinking too much, and when they do have to do that, they have to come up with ways to stay sharp. There's a good pad save there on a shot from the far wall on Matt Niskanen.
Yeah, a lot of goalies go for a skate in the corner or something.
Anything. Now sent out ahead, Joe Vitale, 1-touch pass to Jokinen. Jokinen sends it back down the wall and around for Evgeny Malkin. Orlov watching Malkin as he controls the puck in the corner, waiting for some help here. And he finds Orpik wide open. Orpik with a slap shot. That's off the net, and then Malkin trying to get to the loose puck. Chopping at it is Neal. A bouncing puck comes right to Halak, and he's able to freeze it. I'll tell you, Penguins coming on now after getting that goal. On this week's Inside Penguins Hockey, Chris Letang opens up about the day he suffered a stroke. Tanner Glass is mic'd up for practice in Chicago. Has a surprising reaction to the weather and much more. Inside Penguins Hockey presented by Heritage Valley Health System tonight after postgame on Root Sports.
Yeah, there was a point shot that floated in there on Halak. He overplayed it. It was 4 feet wide, and it almost came off the back boards to his other side. He was way out of position, so Pittsburgh just a little offensive zone time here. They could get another one on the board.
Taylor Pyatt works the corner. Pyatt, Neal, and Malkin. Orpik with a wrister. That's knocked down.
Another point for Crosby. He's points in 20 of the last 22 against the Caps. 38 over that stretch, and he leads the NHL now with 87 points.
That's one number he would like to change, though, even though normally he would like to be stuck at 87 on other things, like his salary.
Yeah. Well, he's born in 87, and Evgeny Kuznetsov, we haven't talked too much about him tonight. The young promising rookie in his first NHL game was born in 92, and he's wearing number 92.
Backstrom takes the face-off against Malkin. Malkin won it cleanly back to the corner for Orpik. Up off the glass, held in by Alsner. He gloves it down, fires it around, and Dupre, that head on a swivel over to play it, jabs it up the boards, and Neal helps it along up into the Washington zone. Number 27 is Carl Alsner. The lead pass bounces into the Penguin zone, and Dupre back to get it. Here comes Ovechkin. Tried to line him up. Dupre felt that coming, and the Penguins, Orpik sent it up the center to Kunitz, who tapped it over to Stempniak. He looks for Kunitz cutting in. Over to Crosby, and his one-timer, he fanned on it. Boy, that was a good setup there. Stempniak again works the puck. Starting to gain some confidence here, but his pass for Olli Maatta was interrupted on the way. And Maatta backs up for Crosby. And lost control of it again, and the Capitals come ahead. Backstrom lost it, but gets it back and dumps it in behind the goal. 4:56 to go in the second period, and the Penguins leading 3-2.
Stempniak with his first 2 points as a Penguin, playing the right side with Crosby and Kunitz.
Look out, big hit on the near side. Brooks Orpik lined a man up. It was Johansson, who picks up his stick as the puck goes in behind the net. Now Crosby, again, working deep in his own zone, banks the puck up ahead. And the Capitals. Green goes back to get it in his own zone. A long lead pass for Johansson. Pulls up. Lost control. Gotch turns it ahead where Craig Adams has it now. And Adams in on the puck. Gotch on the ice with Craig Adams and Tanner Glass. He tried to move with the glass, and Johansson picks it off. There's Gotch again, taking the man out on the corner. And it comes up the wall where it's handled by Dustin Penner. And Penner sent it rink wide. Back to get it goes Tanner Glass. Around now for Derek Engelland, and up the boards to Craig Adams. Ahead now for Gotch. He couldn't get there in time. Hillen got a piece of it, but now it's picked off again by Adams. He shoots it high, but it's gloved down by Halak with Marcel Gotch going to the net.
You always got to be careful. Saturday, the Caps scored 3 goals in 5:02 to win 3-2 in Phoenix. Penguins are up. Kunitz has got 31 now. There he is, Yevgeny Kuznetsov. I was going to say Kirilenko. That's who he lives with. He lives with Alexander Ovechkin, Maria Kirilenko, his fiancee Staggy. They took him into the house. He's learning English. They say he's not too bad, but he's a little nervous about it. 6'2", 200 pounds, 6 in KHL scoring. And he's a guy they're looking to first game. George McPhee wanted him 2 years ago. Said he could have played easily as a 19, 20-year-old. Here he is, getting his feet wet in the National Hockey League.
Joel Ward knocks the puck down. Malkin tried to take it away. Now Neal is able to get a stick on it. Ahead now for Malkin. Malkin to Neal. Now for Pyatt. Instead it's pushed wide of the net. Pyatt's going to go get it. And Taylor Pyatt getting an opportunity to play with Neal and Malkin. This time it's taken away by Joel Ward. Scuderi wouldn't let the puck get through, and it's an offside call. Take a look at our Nissan road ahead. Penguins are happy to have that road behind us. That long trip out west, that's where the Capitals will be going, by the way. Well, not before they play Pittsburgh tomorrow night. The second of this home and home, and then a home and home with the Flyers. Dallas comes to town, and the Penguins go to Detroit to play the Red Wings. By the way, Bob, Kuznetsov is from Chelyabinsk, which is the same hometown as Sergei Gonchar, who of course played here and in Pittsburgh. Now Green throws the puck in deep behind the net. And Brooks Orpik just leveled a Capital. It was Alexander Ovechkin. He just knocked him flying. There's a couple of big hits tonight for Orpik. In on the puck now is Joe Vitale around for the near corner. Sutter wanted to bring it to the front of the net, but instead it's up the right wing to Alexander Ovechkin, who couldn't control it cleanly. Orpik with it now. Works it up the left wing to Jussi Jokinen. Into the middle now for Sutter. Sutter calmly backhands it back in deep. Joe Vitale gets in there on the puck. Sends it up top now to Simon Desprez. Over to the right side of Engelland, who wrists one off a stick. And Vitale tried to backhand it in front to Jokinen. He gets it right back behind the net. Green leaning on him, and he goes down, and Backstrom cleans up his own zone here for the Capitals. Ovechkin cheating up ice as Backstrom carries the puck to center and drops it off. This is Kuznetsov with a good shot. And the save made by Jeff Zatkoff on Yevgeny Kuznetsov.
Ovechkin with a few words in on Zatkoff after Kuznetsov gets his first. And look at this. Nobody's near that puck. Ovechkin nor Orpik. Nobody's touching that puck. Sutter made a play on it. I guess that was all fair and love more.
Now Brouwer works the corner. Desprez on him. Johansson trying to get a hold of it. Crosby in his own zone. Couldn't make the outlet pass. The Capitals keep it alive, and Desprez will take it now behind the net. He's pressured by Johansson. He spun him off the puck. Engelland comes in, hits Johansson, and Desprez able to get possession. A minute 45 to go in the second period. Penguins leading 3-2, and the lead pass for Crosby comes through to Kunitz. His shot sails over the head of Yaroslav Halak. Lee Stempniak. Engelland with a shot. Halak scoops it up with Crosby hovering around that goal. Day Automotive brings you the great day for hockey. And back on March 10th, 07, Colby Armstrong tied the team record with a third overtime game-winning goal of the season. And here's Colby now.
Across seas. He was playing in Sweden, I believe. Somewhere over there.
Marcel Gotch steps in for the draw.
In the Scandinavian countries.
Against Like, and Like won the faceoff. Now taken by Scuderi, and he'll dump the puck into the Washington zone. Only 13 shots on the board for the Penguins, but their shooting percentage is just fine tonight. 3 goals on 13 shots. Who's counting shots when you're leading in the game? Now the puck back to the corner. Scuderi hit by Chimera. Kind of felt him coming, and then Niskanen tried to work it up the boards. Greg Adams with it. Nice play to just tap it over to Marcel Gotch, and he dumps the puck behind the defenseman Hillen and gets in after it. And the Capitals, though, quickly exit their own zone. Now the bouncing puck, whacked at by Scuderi. 47 seconds to go in the period. Joel Ward turns it ahead. Connor Carrick just gave it right back to the Penguin defense. Niskanen ahead now for Tanner Glass. Adams is open on the near side, but Glass dumps it in. Halak plays it to the corner and up the wall for Like. Like hands it off to Ovechkin. Here he comes. That's serpentine style. He drops it off for Backstrom. The shot off the leg of Orpik and cleared by Jokinen to the far boards. And now it's Neal coming back for the Penguins, and Malkin's going to take it. Penguins have a little time here if they can get something going, but puck comes right to Ovechkin, and he goes the other way with 10 seconds to go. There's the shot. Stick save made by Zatkov. Ovechkin gets to his own rebound. Sends it back over to the far side. Halsner poked it free from Mata 1 second ago. The Penguins will take a 1-goal lead to the locker room.
Ovechkin trying to tie it up late in that second period. He had a good head of steam. The wheels were going, but only Mata and Brooks Orpik had a great gap. They were tight. They wouldn't give him that line. He tried the serpentine move, and nothing happened.
Game of split-second decisions. A fraction of an inch between a win or a loss. Here, we show you every detail, so you don't miss a thing. Root Sports.
All rights to this copyrighted telecast are reserved. This copyrighted telecast is presented by Root Sports under the authority of Pittsburgh Penguins LP. This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, rebroadcasted, re-recorded, or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of Pittsburgh Penguins LP.
Great players, always a great rivalry. The Penguins on top of the Washington Capitals 3-2 after 2. If you're just joining us, here's what you missed. Presented by your Western PA Honda dealers.
The Penguins trying to get it. Lee Stempniak lifts the stick of Chimera and works it to left wing. Here's Kunitz cutting in to the goal. He scores! Ward is bumped on the near side, but Chimera centers. He had Fair going to the goal and he scores. Eric Fair. Gino. Crosby. He scores! What a wicked shot that was from Sidney Crosby. Backstrom will set it up again down low. Backstrom. Throws it to the net. It's deflected in by Like. And the Capitals have tied it. Here's Crosby, though, busting in. Drops it off. Stempniak shot. Stop. Rebound. Score! Gretsch Kunitz has another one, and the Penguins retake the lead. So the Penguins have a lead, even though the Capitals have outshot them, Bob. But what can you say? I mean, they've gotten some production from Lee Stempniak tonight. Sidney Crosby's been on fire.
Crosby has been. He's been pushing players back. Stempniak gets his first 2 points as a Penguin assist. Mucking it up, getting the puck out to Crosby. Always a good thing. Kunitz opening up the scoring 46 seconds in. Look at Crosby soaring. Stempniak just getting the puck to the net. Fortuitous bounce to pass off the pads for Kunitz, who's got 31 goals. That's got to make Stempniak feel pretty good. A pair of assists, one for each of his twin daughters, Steggy. They were just born last week.
Now he shoots the puck wide of the goal to start the third period. Centering pass, Crosby tried a one-time one and it went off the heel of a stick. Stempniak sends it back around far side. Kunitz on the forecheck, steals and dumps it behind the goal. Excellent first shift here for the Penguins' top line. Now the puck bounced back into the Penguin zone, and Ole Mata will take control of it. Hard around for Chris Kunitz. Out in center now to Neal. He couldn't take the pass cleanly, and it's dumped right back into the Penguin zone. Back behind, Zakhoff let it go through for Malkin. Malkin thinking one step ahead there as he dumped the puck back behind the net and came out the other side. Pyatt to Malkin. Malkin, pass for Pyatt, went behind him. Ovechkin takes off the other way down the wing, drops it off to Backstrom, to Ovechkin. Shoots it short side. Zatkoff made the save, and Backstrom flagged the puck down out of midair. With his pass to the point intercepted by Taylor Pyatt. His pass from Malkin is in his skates. Lead pass to Pyatt, and he'll pitchfork it up into the Capital zone.
Boy, he didn't get the red line at all there. They gave it to him. And, oh, look out here. Oh, let's put it in their own net, did the Capitals. Carlson.
Jokinen centers, and a good chance there for Sutter as he jammed it just wide. Up the near wall, it comes to Vitale. Back to the net, and a save by Halak. Jokinen looks for the rebound. Now he lifts the stick of Carlson and pries the puck free for Sutter. Up the near wall it comes, where it's handled by Joe Vitale for Jokinen. And across towards the point, getting a stick on it was Brouwer. Now he chases Scuderi back into his own zone, who passes to Niskanen. And ahead now where Jokinen can tip it up into the Washington zone. Halak moves it to the corner. Sutter the first man in there though with Vitale. To Sutter, and his backhand shot stopped by Halak. Boy, a really good shift for those three. Sutter and Vitale need to get off. Tanner Glass comes on, along with Craig Adams and Marcel Gotch.
Well, you know what was said in the dressing room? The Penguins were saying, hey guys, we're lucky to be up 3-2. Let's go play our best period. And they've come out strong here in the third.
Now it's Brouwer with it. Good back-checking effort by Adams, but the pass still came through to Dustin Penner. Dupre hung him up on the wall. And Caps just give the puck away in their own zone to Tanner Glass, or in the Penguin zone to Tanner Glass, who dumps it up into the Capital zone. And handled now by Orlov. He has some room to step out of his own end. Olimata goes back for it. Up the wall it comes now to Adams. And in the middle for Kunitz. Keeps on trucking down the right wing. Kunitz shoots it to the save by Halak. Jay Beagle pounces on the rebound and moves it up the right wing. But they turned it over. Kunitz couldn't get it to the net. Now it's Kuznetsov moving it to the corner, and Orpik goes back for it. For Olimata. Centering pass, and it comes right to Sidney Crosby, who turns it off the boards to center. Back into the Penguin zone on the near wall. It's Tom Wilson. Back around now for Kuznetsov. For Wilson. Now Jay Beagle takes it. And the Penguins able to break up the cycle and get it out. Good work there by Sidney Crosby to make sure that puck got down the ice. And the Capitals start right back. Carl Alsner works into the right wing past everybody. Zakhoff doesn't touch it. Goes behind the net where Scuderi will shovel it up the wall for Taylor Pyatt. Over to help out is Malkin. Instead, Pyatt dumps it to the right wing. James Neal. It's been kind of quiet here tonight. Trying to get something going here in the corner. Just too many red jerseys around him. And the Capitals counterattack. Chimera, the man on the puck. Chimera to Ward. The shot. Save made by Zatkoff. The rebound to James Neal. Now Malkin. Taylor Pyatt come ahead. Pyatt will dump it up into the right wing corner. Dillon back to get it. One hands it around for his partner, Carrick. Off the right wing boards for Alexander Ovechkin. Has trouble handling it. And the Capitals will regroup. Sutter, who had a good last shift, to go by him here to Backstrom and moves it right wing to Ovechkin. And he'll push it towards the net. Zakhoff scoops it up.
A little bit of a mix-up for Halak. I mean, it's only his second game. Communication problems back there. Carlson almost put it in his own net. Halak had to make a save on Sutter as well. Sutter going to the front of the net. And then Zakhoff the other way. The best line's been the Chimera line. There's Fair again getting another chance on Ward. That was Ward's opportunity, but that's been the best line for the Capitals. Dump it in with pressure. They have a purpose.
Connor Carrick works in behind the Penguin goal and leaves it there. Brooks Light trying to get away from Olimata, who's badgering him in the near corner, and Olimata ends up with the puck. Here he comes, but his pass went behind Jussi Jokinen. And Brooks Light, who's had a history of groin problems, drags himself slowly back to center ice as the Capitals go towards the Penguin zone. Here's Light with the puck now. Light goes to the bench after dropping it off. Green ahead to Backstrom.
You may not see Like again. He was really moving gingerly there. He does have those growing issues, as you mentioned.
Ole Mata back to the puck in his own zone. On his horse, trying to get out of danger here. And look out, he jumped by Johansson, but Zatkoff helps out. Now Mata takes it again. Cross to his partner, Brooks Orpik. Out in center where it's tipped into the Washington zone. Now the Caps on the wing. It's Johansson with it, cutting into the middle. Drops it off. Brouwer, a shot on the save made by Zatkoff on the short side. And Adams carries ahead now and hands it off to Chris Kunitz. He's got Vitale busting in, but he couldn't get him the puck. Taken now by Simon Desprez. Over to Derek Engelland. Penguins up by 1. They want to protect the lead, but they don't want to be too defensive here. He's still got to push the pace.
Well, they're being engaged, and that pass up the defense of the Capitals is moving down on the forward of the Penguins for that stretch pass, and they're not getting to the red line right now. Caps have moved their pressure up a little bit in that neutral zone.
Fair with a shot wide of the goal. Chimera on the puck, turns it to the net, wide of the net. And it comes over to the near point where it's held in by Alsner to Fair. In deep now for Joel Ward, behind the net to Chimera. Wrap around a 10-foot right through the goal mouth. Boy, they are dangerous. There's Ward now, up high on the play. Goes to the right side. Carlson dishes it off. Now they cycle the puck around. Carlson cuts to the net, and the pass from Chimera hit him. And now the Capitals are a little out of position as the Penguins come the other way. Crosby drops it off. Stempniak, he can't bring it to the net. He looks back and finds Niskanen with a drive, and Crosby ended up in the net with the net going all the way to the end board. So that's going to be Neal getting out of the cage.
Yeah, Chimera's going to be penalized here for interference as Neal got knocked into the cage. So when we come back with the lead, the Penguins have a power play. There's Jason Chimera. Hit a great chance in the offensive zone on a wraparound, but he got caught. Taking out James Neal, going to the net. So that push into that cage. Interference, and Penguins are on the power play.
UPMC Sports Medicine power play for the Penguins. They're 1 for 2. Here's James Neal shooting. Halak gave up a big rebound, but the Capitals able to get it out. Malkin and Crosby. But the Capitals dump it into the Penguin zone, and the Penguins will start from their own zone. Crosby takes the lead pass. Looks right wing to Malkin. Alsner watches him as he turns the net. Carlson poked it free, but it came to Sidney Crosby. Now to Kunitz. Kunitz to Crosby. Malkin to Niskanen. Not in his wheelhouse. He has to take the pass. Hands it off to Neal. Neal with a wrister. Kunitz right in front of the net. Steered it wide. Now Crosby takes it. To Malkin. Gino to Niskanen a drive. And he rifled that puck up off the glass, and it's held in by Crosby. But then as he tried to pass it, it hit Brooks Laich, who is on the ice. And boy, Laich, you can tell he's playing through injury as he goes back to the bench. And now Niskanen moves it ahead to Kunitz. The left wing to Malkin. Quick pass intended for Crosby. Taken away by Brouwer. And he turns it back into the Penguin zone. 47 seconds to go on the penalty to Chimera. This is Malkin taking the lead pass. Malkin for Sidney Crosby. In front, you've got to go to Mata, who had moved up into the slot. Now Niskanen with it. Penguins set it up from the left wing boards now. Ole Mata with it. To Niskanen. Jokinen goes to the front of the net. Malkin has the puck. Up top now for Niskanen. 20 seconds to go on the penalty. Malkin wanted a one-time it, but they take that lane away from him. Now in the slot, here's Jokinen. He tried to pass it across. Bouncing puck. And the Capitals, Nicholas Backstrom coming to center. And the Caps able to get the puck all the way to the Penguin zone to kill the rest of the penalty as Beagle did a good job. Now Beagle continues to work over there on the far boards. Chimera's on the ice. Penguins have to be careful here. Malkin sends it around for Matt Niskanen. And the crowd comes to life here after the Capitals kill the Penguin power play. Sutter able to tip it up into the Washington zone. Carlson back to get it. Around for Alsner. Out in center now. Eric Fair able to dump it up into the Penguin zone, and going back after it is Rob Scuderi. Here comes Joel Ward. Scuderi outlets to Sutter, who didn't get it out. Carlson holds it in. Carlson centers, and it goes right past the man in the slot, Eric Fair, and then it's tipped up over the glass and into the seats. Get ready for the Pirates' new season by reliving the best games from last season. Pirates playback continues as the Pirates clinch their first trip to the postseason in 21 years after beating the Cubs on September 23rd. Relive this unforgettable game and celebration on Pirates Playback 2013, Sunday at 7 on Root Sports.
Hey, you can't block the plate like that anymore. They changed the rules, didn't they?
A little bit. You can still block it.
All right.
But you can't block it until you have the ball.
Okay.
Now, that's what at least I think that's what the rule is. Now here's Ovechkin with it, and Ovechkin centers. Look out, it's off the stick of Johansson. He was in the slot there, but he couldn't take the pass. I think he wanted to shoot it before he had it.
No, he was wide open. It was a great opportunity there and a great feed by Ovechkin. We're halfway through the third already.
Ovechkin centers it, comes all the way through. Green tees it up and lets it go. It's blocked by Pyatt. Johansson with it again, out to Orlov. Slap shot, wide of the goal. Scuderi chips it up the boards. Pyatt works it past Green, and Orlov goes to get it.
Yeah, Orlov took that shot. There was nobody within 30 feet of the net. Capitals aren't going to get anything accomplished. They don't have anybody in front of Zakhoff.
Penguins have outshot the Caps 5-2 here in the third period. Here's Adams with it now. Adams dumps it into the Washington zone. The Capitals scored 2 quick goals in the third period in their last game against Phoenix and won the game 3-2. Now it's Tom Wilson, a 19-year-old player. With the puck to Simon Despres and out now to Adams. Here's Derek Engelland coming ahead. Tried to dump it in and fanned on the dump in, and now Kuznetsov works it to the right wing. It's Tom Wilson winding it around. Kuznetsov getting used to playing in the smaller rink. Takes the bump from Derek Engelland there. Welcome to the NHL. A lot more board play. All you do is watch the Olympics to know the difference and what he has to adjust to. Kuznetsov. Now here's Engelland with it in his own zone. A lead pass up into the Washington zone. 8:36 to go. Around for Hillen. Back around now for Carrick. Connor Carrick flips one out to center. Like flags it down. Ovechkin busts to the net. Like tries to set up Obi. He and Orpik tangled, and Orpik won the physical battle. Winds it around now for Kunitz. Kunitz controls the puck beautifully and banks it off the glass, and it gets out to the neutral zone. But it's Ovechkin on the puck. And the Caps are offside. Great work by Orpik on Alexander Ovechkin.
Yeah, get in his way before he gets to it. That seems to be working. Well, where you see Brooks Orpik, you're going to see number 8, Alexander Ovechkin. He loves this matchup, does Brooks, and he's got involved. That's a Subway sandwich of the game. First on Fair, then on Ovechkin on the last shift. He and Ovechkin had met up again. And it doesn't seem to matter whether the puck is there or not. They seem to be on the same page. 8:08 left. Only 2 shots for the Caps.
And I think it seems to me that Ovechkin's thinking about Brooks Orpik, and that's probably a good thing to get him kind of off his game a little bit. He's not thinking about the puck as much.
And the one thing the Penguins got to do is keep this pressure in the offensive zone and certainly take no penalties.
Here's Chimera with some speed into the Penguin zone. And Chimera, with a sweep check by Brooks Orpik, lost the puck. Now back towards the trapezoid, and Chimera unable to get to the puck ahead of Olimata, who tried to bring it out. And it's fought for on the near side. Eric Fair works the near wall. Fair, Ward, and Chimera on the ice again for Adam Oates' club. Orlov picks off the outlet pass, has the puck. Orlov, quick shot again by Eric Fair. Went wide. Fair gets it again. Out to Green. And across now for Orlov. Pass all the way through. Comes off the boards and back to center.
Oh, what a chance. Crosby going up the middle. A turnover for the Penguins. Looked like it grazed the post from up here. The referee made no signal. Boy, that Fair shot was close.
Malkin dumps it in. It comes off a leg right to Jokinen. His backhander misses the net. Have you noticed Halak reacting to pucks that are well off the net tonight, Bob?
I have said that, and that one in the back dasher on the second period, he almost, he's just overplaying things right now. Second guessing himself.
Here's Niskanen with a shot, and Halak down to his knees. That puck ricochets away from the net. And the Capitals come quickly to center. Their crowd is alive right now. Great atmosphere in this building. Up to the near wall. And Dustin Penner out to the point, and a heavy slap shot that time by Alzner went high and wide off the glass. Over to the near side. Look at this battle here. You can feel the body contact coming out of the screen. And there's Alzner with it now. Alzner with a shot off a leg of Neal behind the net, and Brouwer. Brouwer brings it up high. Alzner. Wrist shot. Hit a Penguin in front. Matt Niskanen. Kaderi chopped it up the near side, and Neal did the same thing to get it out.
Oh, I love Niskanen fronting the man in front of the net, blocking shots, players in lanes, the forwards getting right out on the D. No clear shots for these Washington Capitals, even though they had the puck in the offensive zone.
Penguins looking to retake the lead in the Eastern Conference. They're 5:41 away. An icing call here. In winning this game, they got to protect this 3-2 lead the rest of the way.
Well, take a look at this Tamara line again. Fair, Ward, there's the giveaway in the center of the ice. It's going to get to 16 right here, and Tink right off the goalpost. What a shot. What an opportunity for the Capitals. It might be the best one they get.
Backstrom to Ovechkin, and his shot came bounding over ahead of the Penguins' defenseman, and then harmlessly to the corner. The Penguins clear, but unfortunately this is going to be another icing call.
Well, you know Ovechkin can, we know he can shoot it. If Backstrom's going to win faceoffs, he's going to get opportunities. The Penguins have to go out and get in that shooting lane of Alexander Ovechkin like they did there. And this isn't Sutter's good side, nor is it Backstrom's. Let's see if he tries to win it with his skate, Backstrom.
Zatkoff looks on as Backstrom takes the face-off against Sutter. Backstrom won it again. The Penguins trying to get possession here. Vitale swept at it. Now Sutter steps out. And Brandon Sutter will bank it ahead, and Vitale makes a beeline to the puck. Got there first ahead of Orlov. Drops it off. Man open. Sutter shoots, and he fired it wide. Great chance for Sutter, and he missed the net. Sutter with it again on his backhand now. Moves it to the point to Derek Engelland. Now to Warpik. This shot knocked down and cleared. Ovechkin takes it. Drops it off for Lake. Back to Ovechkin. Vitale hustling back, though, to get to the puck. And he sends it up the boards. Excellent defensive work there by Vitale. And now Sutter flips the puck back out to center. Ron Carlson with it. Ahead to Ovechkin. He was hiding over here on the near wall. He shoots the puck after the whistle. And we're going to take a break.
Well, Sutter, he absorbed a big hit from number 8. Into the bench. Back out. Onto the stick. And, wow, just stretch pass. Stempniak to Crosby. Back to Stempniak. And there's the bounce to Kunitz, his second of the night and 31st of the season.
We got word from Dallas that Rich Peverly of the Dallas Stars collapsed on the bench. Both teams had to leave the ice. A very scary situation, but on the update we understand now that he is conscious at the hospital, and that's good news. And we'll have more on that from the studio after the game. So kind of scary for a while there for the folks in Dallas, but good news to hear that Rich Peverly is conscious at the hospital. And now we have a face-off coming up here in Washington in the neutral zone between Sidney Crosby and Nicholas Backstrom. And the Penguins leading by 1, 3-2. The Penguins have 6 shots in this period to only 2 for the Capitals. So they've really kind of turned the tables here and shut this game down, which is what you're trying to do when you have a 3-2 lead. Now Green dumps it off the boards. Kunitz kept it in. Back to get it goes Orlov. Orlov slaps it around to the near side. Picked off by Crosby, who dumps it right back into the Washington zone. Yaroslav Halak. To get their signals crossed behind the net. Crosby surrounded by red jerseys. Amazingly protects the puck. Look at this. That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous. Here's a shot by Dupree, and it's blocked in front.
It's a men amongst boys, really, when Sidney Crosby's doing that.
Dupree with a shot of the rebound. just controlled by Yaroslav Halak.
Fantastic shift by the game's best player, 87 Crosby. There's the miscommunication again. He whacks Halak's stick. He's going to protect the puck. He got 3 Capitals down there. And they can't handle Sidney Crosby as he protects it with his backside, using his feet and his skates. And he is, just for that alone, our McDonald's player of the game.
One shift is all it took.
That's all it took right there. Put him over the top. Kunitz was close, but we had to give it to Sid right there.
Now Chimera dumps the puck in. Rob Scuderi goes back to get it. Leaves it in the corner for Niskanen. And up the wall, Neal had it to lost it. Look out, Fair with a shot. Zapkov scrambled over to make the save, and then it took him a while to find the rebound. He didn't have to actually play it, but he was looking around for it. Now here's Malkin with it at center. He'll dump it up into the right wing corner where Jokinen will go after it. Sends it back around to the far side. Still a lot of time left for the Capitals here. 3:23 to go. The clock seems to be taking forever right now as the Penguins lead by 1. Now Chimera turns it up into the Penguin zone, and the Caps are desperate for points. Fair centers. It comes through to the near side, and you see that desperation. Here's Orlov shooting, deflected by Chimera up over the goal. Ward dumps it in behind the net, taken there by Fair, and he works it out to the right point. Orlov around Jokinen, shoots it, and it hit the leg of Scuderi. He felt that. He's hobbled right now. Fair way out by the blue line. Cross ice, the shot kicked out by Zakov. A good scoring opportunity there. Chimera with a great chance has it again. Not a Fair, and he can't get the shot through. Carlson fires. That's also blocked by Craig Adams. Carlson with it again. And yes, this is desperation time for the Capitals. And they turn it over to Malkin.
What a shift. That's all they had. And they couldn't muster up enough to get one by Zakov. 6 guys on the ice for the Penguins. They got away with it. Oh, no, they didn't. The referee caught it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. The trailing referee, there were 6 Penguins on the ice for about 6 seconds. Malkin couldn't get off quick enough, and the trailing referee found it. Well, Todd Reardon talked about offensive zone penalties coming back to haunt you. These are the ones. These are the ones that can come back to haunt you with 2:17 left. A couple of timeouts left, 1 for each team. When will they choose to use these timeouts? Ovechkin just checked the flex on his stick. It seemed fine.
The Capitals have only 4 shots here in the third period, but they have 7 of their 30 shots in the game on the power play. They're 1 for 3.
Oh, Crosby trying to go forward. Oh, Ovechkin moved over. Oh, man.
Crosby against Brouwer, who won the faceoff to Carlson. Now to Backstrom. Backstrom, like Brouwer, Ovechkin, and Carlson shooting off the stick of Craig Adams to the near corner. Back around now for Backstrom. Crosby and Adams are killing the penalty right now. Here's Ovechkin. He tried to set up a redirect there for Like again on the doorstep, and it went right by the blade of his stick. Backstrom again out to Carlson. A wrist shot. Blockered away by Zakov to the near side. Ovechkin sends it back around. Backstrom will play it there in the corner. Backstrom loops it to Like. You can't pull the trigger. And Like looking for the puck now, taps it out in front. And it's Adams trying to clear. He lost the blade of his stick. He drops that stick, heads to the bench. Fortunately, he can get replaced pretty easily here as the puck is dumped around and Backstrom lets it go through to Carlson. Carlson to Backstrom. In front now for Brouwer, and it's fought off nicely by Zakov with a glove, and it comes back to him off the stick of Ovechkin, where he can freeze it in the paint.
What a time to break a stick for Adams, but they got over the blue line. The Caps came back. No good opportunities on Zakov, however. Every opportunity has been challenged. There's the broken stick. The blade just separating right down at the bottom. And Adams, right prior to that, has blocked a couple of shots. We got a timeout. Washington.
Well, Adam Oates was a great power play specialist. His team is number 2 on the power play. Here are all the goals that were scored.
Kunitz, his 30th of the season. Fair tied it up, and right after that, Sidney Crosby came back with that laser shot. In the second period of play, it really was all Capitals. They were able to get the redirect on that power play, but the Penguins came back once again, and strong play by Crosby that led to the 31st goal of the season by Kunitz. And Blaine Forsythe was drawing up a play on that bench. One of the assistant coaches here, along with Kalle Johansson. And there's Adam Oates looking on.
One of the great power play specialists of all time, and there's a lock on the bench, and they got an extra man now. 6 on 4. And Backstrom against Sutter, huge face-off.
Oh boy, Sutter jumped the gun, they didn't kick him out. Mike.
Well, they let him continue on that face-off. That's amazing. And Sutter able to win the puck to the near side, and Scuderi, they were able to clear it down all the way down the ice. That's huge.
I can't believe they dropped that puck. Sutter moved 2 seconds before they dropped it.
Jokinen serving the penalty, 50 seconds to go on it. This is Backstrom with the puck. Sutter knocked it off his stick. Orpik flushed it to the near far wall, where Carlson sends it back around behind. 1 minute to go in the hockey game. Most of it is power play time for the Capitals.
Sutter's off the ice. He was just out there for the face-off.
Puck to the corner. Orpik back. Blake hits him, but he sent it around for Scuderi. And up the near wall. Adams crashes in on the near side, trying to get it out against Ward. It comes out to the point in Ovechkin. Cross ice. He goes to Carlson. Carlson to Backstrom. Ward's in front of the net. And the pass down low off the stick to the near side, where it's taken by Ovechkin. Back around for Light to Backstrom. Carlson, one-timer, and it's blocked by Adams. He gets it back to Backstrom. 2 seconds on the penalty. Backstrom shoots it, and a save made by Zatkoff. The Penguins have their full complement on the ice now. Extra attacker for the Capitals. Carlson, Ovechkin has to take the pass on his backhand. Can't get it to the net. 7 seconds to go in the game. Penguins hanging on here. 4 seconds to go. Centering pass. Penguins break it up. Jokinen got it back to center, and the Penguins hold on to defeat the Capitals here tonight, 3-2. And Jeff Zatkoff made that great save on Chimera, who had the best scoring chance, I think, in the third period.
Wow. You know, the Penguins really clamped down in that third period of play. Saved it for the final 20 minutes, and as a team, there was no weak links. They gave a lot of support to Zatkoff. Every shot was contested. Every opportunity by the Capitals. And some big blocks in the end game there by Adams and Glass. Great stuff by the Penguins to get this victory.
And should be more great stuff tomorrow night in Pittsburgh in the second of the home and home. And listen to this stat. The Penguins 10-1-1 here when Crosby, Malkin, and Ovechkin all play in the game. The Penguins really a thorn in the sides of the Capitals organization. Let's go back to the studio in Pittsburgh.